We're back, baby. Week 3, Cashing Points podcast. I'm Graham. You got Scott. We got Johnny. The regular trio is back, and Proctor is counting his big Cooper Cup bucks. He's got a wad of cash in his pocket right now. He's still counting up the dollar bills from hitting Cooper Cup last week as the best play on the slate. But guys, got another fun one here. I don't think there's as many good games as last week, but really fun slate to talk through. Just general thoughts. How are we feeling this week?
I love this slate, man.
Yeah,
I'm stoked.
Yeah, me too. Loving that Natty Light hat. I love that Natty Light hat too. You get that in college, Proctor?
I had one and I destroyed it after like 10 years, and I actually just replaced it with this one. But it's supposed to, this is like the full dad hat. Like it came like looking weathered.
Gotcha. One of those. I haven't had a Natty Light in 10 years.
Oh, it's what I keep stocked as just like my, it's cheap and I like the taste.
Oh, it's water. I mean, there's really no taste to it.
Exactly. Thing. You can drink 30 of them and still, do things the next day.
Oh, we have different tolerances, my friend. I can't drink 30 of those things anymore. Scott, how's it going, man?
Good. Yeah, I don't like this slate. This is a gross slate. They're trying
like last
to make
week's slate
me
either.
Play Saquon Barkley, who looks like Falcons era Todd Gurley, and they're trying to get me to play CEH.
We're going to talk
one of my
about
all-time worst calls.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to talk Barkley and Edwards-Helaire. I think those are two of the most interesting plays on the slate. By the way, we have a new graphic, Cashing Points graphic in the bottom right corner. Ben, round of applause, man. You're always crushing it. All right. Let's get into the slate here, guys. Just saw a chat. Scott, are you drinking some raw milk today?
Oh, you know it. I have it in the other room. Yeah.
You got your 5 liters of raw milk prepared for this?
I drove like an hour away for it yesterday.
Is that because what's his name, who drinks 5 gallons of milk a day, got a job with the big leagues? So you're trying to catch up?
That's right. That's what it is.
Yeah. Didn't he mention that he sat in a parking lot and drank 2 gallons of milk or something like that? And he said he felt like a drug addict or something.
Yeah.
He had it was some rule where he drank X amount of milk every day, and he had to get his milk. It's like a Fitbit where you got to get your last 100 steps, but he's ripping milk in a Walmart parking lot.
Jesus, I could not imagine. I'm extremely lactose intolerant, and that just makes me want to fucking throw up right now. So let's get into it here, guys. Washington and the Bills. Bills are 7.5 point home favorites. Over under is 45.5. I mean, Taylor Heineke, man. I mean, it's been just 2 small starts, but he answered the bell in the wild card round last year against the Bucs, put up 25 fantasy points. Last week he put up 20. I think Heineke's going to be better than people are expecting, and that's kind of the key for this game. Is we need Washington to keep their foot on score and make the Bills keep the foot on the gas. So let's start with the Bills. I mean, I think we're all waiting for Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs to hit a ceiling, and now they're cheaper than they've been all season.
The question is if Josh Allen hadn't gone full Josh Allen and gave himself up at the 1 yard line, would we be talking about him as one of the higher end players of the slate? I think we probably would. I mean, his price on DraftKings is egregious.
Yeah, he should be 1K more expensive for his ceiling. And by the way, I mean, that should have been a touchdown. That was one of the weird wonky rules too, a quarterback sliding near the goal line. I mean, he shouldn't have given himself up, and he should have just powered his way through. But yeah, I mean, he should have had a way bigger score last week. Also, I mean, that game just went to shit so fast without Tua. I mean, Bills just didn't have to do anything. So I guess that's my concern here is Washington's going to have to do things, and Heineke's been fine. I mean, it's not pretty at times, but he's moved the chains in his 2 starts, and I'm excited to play some Allen at this cheaper prices. Stephon Diggs, I mean, he hasn't had a ceiling too because Allen struggled a bit, but I mean the target share has been there 28-29% in the first 2 games. Washington's defense has also not been good to start the year too. So I really like this spot a lot.
And Diggs has been like fine, he's had like 16 PPR points back to back, but everyone's like written off Diggs. Like people are like, I've got like my friends from home like texting me like, would you be trading Stephon Diggs away? Like people are like done with the Bills. It's so wild.
Society we live in now, man. 2 weeks in, you don't produce like you did the year before. You're toast. That's the way it goes now.
Yeah. So Scott, is Josh Allen dust, and is Antonio Gibson dust?
Yeah, so I don't know. I think we just sort of see the regression. Like it happened with Carson Wentz, it happened with Lamar Jackson. The touchdown rate was not at all sustainable. And who Josh Allen was before last season was he was consistently one of the most matchup sensitive quarterbacks in fantasy, and by a landslide. It was something like whenever he went up against a bottom 10 defense by schedule adjusted fantasy points per game, he averaged like 33 fantasy points per game. And then the rest of the time, like 18 or 15. And so I think that might be what we're seeing. I mean, he's definitely a value, but I'm inclined to just pay up for Kyler or pay down for Fields this week. And then Gibson, man, like I want to love him. Like he's seeing decent volume, 16.5 carries, 3.5 targets per game, but 0 looks inside the 10-yard line. McKissick played on 2 of 2 snaps inside the 10, and game scripts unideal. It's basically what it was like last week. And he's definitely mispriced on FanDuel, but he's another one of those running backs where it's like, okay, he's a value, but I still don't really want to play him.
Yeah, he's phenomenal price on FanDuel. I think Barkley's a better play, but Gibson is very, very close.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk Barkley because I want none of that.
Oh really? Man, you're gonna get dusted again this slate. I know. What are you doing,
Scott? You don't want any Barkley after you caped up for him all offseason too. This is the spot, man. This is what
that might be what it is. Is like I have so much exposure that I have to be pessimistic. I have to play the other side. I don't want to get my hopes up.
So do you remember like it was like 3 or 4 years ago when Melvin Gordon was like hurt to start the season, and then like he came off the injury report after like 2 or 3 bad games, and no one played him, and he scored like 40 fantasy points. This is like that same spot. Like Barkley is now 100%, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I believe that at all.
Really? Okay, we'll get
100%.
We'll save it for the next game.
Yeah, he was Todd Gurley last week.
Yeah, no, we'll save it.
But
he absolutely is.
F1, I think, is in play, and I think he's probably like the only Washington football team guy that I like want to play.
Yeah.
I think McKissick is fine in like Bills stacks and whatnot, but otherwise I think Bills D is probably one of the higher upside plays on FanDuel. Probably the best play on FanDuel. And then otherwise, I mean, I don't love this game, but I do want Bills exposure. Like if I had 20 teams, I would want some Bills, but if I had 3 teams, I might not.
Right. Okay. Yeah, McLaurin on Heineke's 61 passes this year easily leads the team with 18. Thomas has 10, followed by Adam Humphries and De'Ami Brown with 9. So McLaurin's been the clear-cut alpha, and we saw last week them get him the ball on zone beaters and stuff. So yeah, I think McLaurin. I'm with you. I think McLaurin's really the only guy I want here for Washington. And Scott, I think you nailed it. I Gibson is great price on FanDuel, but I like Barkley considerably more. And yeah, game script's not going to be great here. Okay, Bears Browns, Justin Fields games, boys. And Andy Dalton's out. Odell Beckham is in. Jarvis Landry's on IR, so we're going to see the first bit of Beckham. They kind of just obviously slow played it to start this year, but yeah, we got to start with Justin Fields, man. I mean, he's an obvious value on both sites, and I think he's going to be